Hey guys, welcome to the LTAS podcast. This is our first episode. I'm Mawoduffer, and I'll let everyone else introduce themselves.
It's your boy, Wackofan here.
It's Slancatto.
ZachDirects.
All right, now that we've got that out of the way, everyone, let's all say stuff about ourselves.
Enthusiasm.
Let's all say. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna tell an interesting fact.
Factoid.
I've got my YouTube account for 6 years now, and I've been doing YouTube for 4 years, and I still only have 240 subscribers. On to you, Wackofan.
Wow. Okay. So I'm just a lad out here for the gains. I don't have a channel because I'm a loser, so I leech off of these guys.
I remember those Minecraft Let's Plays. What happened to those?
Back in the day, boys. Back in the day.
I deleted mine. Anyway, what about you, Slancatto?
I'm the original author of the Holy Doctrine of Line Through a Square. As you all live with the famous YouTuber Nintendo Master.
Nice.
Can I get his autograph later?
No.
And that is a perfect segue, or hoverboard as the kids call it today, into our topic of this podcast.
You're forgetting something.
Why is it why is it the LTAS podcast? Well, this symbol you see right here in the middle of the screen, that is the line through a square. Now, this is actually the elegant version, very, very elegant.
Hold your applause.
made out of gold. And this is, for our first episode, we're going to be explaining the origins of this.
The deepest lore.
So
This is all about.
Zach doesn't know.
Yes,
No,
Zach
is like the conduit for the viewer to connect to.
he has
no idea what the heck
he
we're
really
talking
has
about.
no idea. He is like the viewer we are explaining to, and you, the viewer out there. So before we
boy.
get started, let me crack open. I have here a sparkling mead that I've created, a very fancy drink. Let me crack it open.
You've created a
Not
mead.
sponsored.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored.
Maywo's mead.
Mawoduffer's mead. Let's crack it
You
open.
forgot to let me about myself.
Yeah,
Zach,
yeah.
Zach never got to. He just said, "I'm Zach."
Give us an interesting
been-
fact.
It's pretty much video essays and stuff, so it's pretty much that.
Ooh, you're like
He's like
what's his name?
He's like 10 tiers above Casey Neistat.
Quality.
Casey Neistat is primitive. Have you seen his face? He looks like a caveman.
Caveman boys.
Actually,
Real caveman hours. Honestly.
I mean, you sort of look similar. But anyway,
No, he
let me-
doesn't.
let me crack open.
No, I don't.
Dude.
Lucas.
Listen to this.
I don't look as primitive as Casey Neistat.
Give it a good listen.
Wow.
Meme soda.
There we go. Let's
Do
do a little
that
bit.
is. Are you gonna drink that?
Pour it into my NASA mug right here.
That sounds nasty. I'm
That's a good whiff.
not gonna lie. I don't actually drink it.
The
You don't-
Dasani sparkling water.
Well, you don't know what mead is?
I know what mead is, yes, but you made this in a bottle in your house. I don't think you should drink that.
I already drank a bottle and it was pretty good, and I didn't get food.
You're gonna die.
You're
Yeah,
telling
it's
me
gonna
that
die.
you drank that, and
Yeah,
this
and
is good. Like you. Wow. I can't relate. Sorry.
That drink that you gave me that one time, man, that about burned my esophagus.
Oh, the weird
London fog.
Buddha drink. No, the
Do
Buddha
not
drink that you
let
brought to
the-
school one day.
The
Oh.
sparkling.
I called it the Buddha.
that's kombucha, I think.
That's why.
But that's
Buddha.
for let's save it for another episode.
Yeah,
let's
we'll
get-
talk about weed.
Let us
and
get
Hipster
right.
Your
essential
podcast?
oil business.
Let's get right into this.
So-
Can we like jump to topic numero uno here?
All
Mhm.
right. So, Zach, have you read the Holy Doctrine yet?
I'm a virgin to it.
this this is your first time.
Well, we have to start with the best book. Book 1.
Can we gloss over book 4, by the way?
No.
No.
No,
Dude,
dude, no, man, come on.
Dude, that's
That's a-
imperative.
I've
That
heard
is-
snippet.
It shows you the descent into madness.
Well, okay. I'm feeling that we should, the way that it's formatted, we need to explain what it is, because like
Yes.
this is he has no idea what the hell's going on.
I'm opening the publisher copy as we speak.
Oh yes, he's
I haven't
opening it.
got it open yet.
He's cracking open that cold one.
Well,
Okay, so
we can't talk with the Holy Doctrine without talking about LTAS itself.
we got to talk
So
about
one day,
Yes.
LTAS quotation.
So take it away, Slancatto.
well, you see, one day in a Google Hangout, just a normal day, and then an epiphany hit me, and I drew a square with a line going from the top left to the bottom right, and that's how it all started.
I have a question.
Yes.
Was this like, was it like a spiritual journey?
I like to
Yes.
think that he was talked to by the Virgin Mary.
No, I was talked to by LTAS itself. Can't believe that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes.
I've never been spoken to by the God.
And then I forced it so hard upon you, you had no choice but to embrace it.
Yeah, it was
It was,
like
the
a
beginning.
forced meme.
yeah.
It was.
It's pretty much, it was the beginning of a 3 to 4 year, like 3.5 ongoing
Yeah.
that is in our little group. So,
So-
jokey.
So basically, from this LTAS, we basically had, and I'll take it from here. We had like almost nothing to do with it, nothing really to put it on yet for a while. Then I had this excellent teacher, excellent biology teacher, but you see, being a biology teacher, there was some funny things. You know, he would say some funny inside jokes that we created, and he totally realized that, you know, he was creating a joke. Like, for example, if I were to say, "Let's head on back," you know, no, none of you would get that. I don't think I could even explain the sentiment of this to you, Zach. I mean,
The
What it-
power.
I
of this
understand.
phrase.
I know. I know.
It's like an
he's a
incantation.
wait, did you have that biology teacher?
goof.
His name starts with a Mister and ends with
I had his wife.
his wife. Ah, man.
I
And you
too
don't
had
know.
his wife.
She loved
Let's-
me. She
let's
got
just
mad at me.
say-
Actually, I have a good
She
story.
You love me.
I told her Miss Frizzle one time, and like
You called her
The
Miss
whole-
Frizzle.
Oh no.
overheard me say it, and she's like, that I look like Miss Frizzle, and then all the other kids ratted out me because they heard me say it.
Not, dude. Own it. Be like, yeah. And it's great.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
And she
own
got so ticked off at me. I'm like, dang.
To be fair, I had a teacher called Miss Frizzle in 7th grade.
Wait, really?
Yes, she's my math teacher.
Wow.
For those of
living
you,
legend.
for those of
Did
you
you
who
Drop
are
like that.
who have been living
To
in a
give you more
cave,
info about this biology teacher, he once joked with a girl about her being deep-throated. Just feel I need to put that out there.
well, okay.
I feel like that was needed.
Okay, so like I feel like that's just the way you took it. You said
No,
okay,
no.
so that the experiment was you put a swab in your mouth and to get the bacteria from it, and then let the bacteria grow, you know, for like, you know, education. And so apparently, what did he say?
Someone somehow got spilt in someone's hand. He's like, wash it off right away. You never know what's been.
Oh, yeah, dude. He told me about this. This
Ah.
is, yeah, this is dumb.
In the way he like his expression, he was saying that.
Oh, okay.
What?
I don't think it's exactly like that.
Well, that's how everyone took it, because the look on everyone's faces.
So anyway, we decided, hey, let's start a list of quotes for Mr. K to like let's start a list of Mr. K quotes in the chat.
Which lasted 1.5 lines.
It lasted 1.5 lines, and then that's when it began. The holy doctrine of line through a square.
Oh yes.
But
And at this point,
wait.
and I didn't write anything.
Yeah,
Not
he didn't.
involved in this.
He wrote
I
one
didn't
line.
want to be because it was, as you will come to find out, quite vulgar
Yeah, so
in the
Wackofan,
way it was written.
he started in on the, what was it?
Sixth.
It was
the
I did a
fourth-
little in the fourth book, but I started in the fifth. Really,
I think you and Slancatto started the fourth book. I think because you had the same chemistry
Yeah.
teacher
Oh yeah, we did.
who was always talking about that Dr. Pepper and 7-Up. We'll get to that. Book 4.
And then I stopped, and then
Wait, I have a question. Was this put in MLA format?
Oh no!
it
Oh
wasn't.
no! We
but
messed
it
up,
was in
guys.
novel. form.
Golly.
We messed up. It's
Wasn't
not
it?
in MLA
Didn't we
format.
put it in a special novel format? I thought we looked it up.
Yeah, it's.
Am I thinking this up?
I
they
reformatted
want
it for printing, but I haven't printed it yet, so I need to.
I have the book
Let's
one in
get right to
physical
it.
You can buy that on. It's listed down in the description now.
Teespring.
Authored,
LTAS.teespring.com.
authored and published by Slancatto, Mawoduffer, and Wackofan, 2016 to 2018.
And this is in wattage.
In loving memory. Yes.
So
Gone.
this is
Loving
about
Night's Kiss.
the only thing that is 100% truth and not fiction, and it's at the beginning of the series. You guys might get the lab report done if you don't play computer games all hour. Mr. K then mutters under his breath. And I don't know, should I say his real name or not?
Yes.
Go do what you want, dude.
Fine. I'm not gonna promote this podcast for that very reason. Mr. K then mutters under his breath, Trenton. Trenton replied, nah. Which, okay, then the part where he mutters, that's like not real. But basically, it started out because I was working with some 3D modeling, just doing that in my free time. I probably should have been. I probably
in
should have
class
been
they
writing my
provided
lab.
laptops.
Yeah, in class, so I was 3D modeling on my school laptop, and he thought it was a video game. So it goes on, just for comedic effect. Let's see how the scenario plays out. And so basically, we sort of guided it towards Mr. K giving me corporal punishment because I denied that I was playing games.
Wow. Then you can beat your kids.
So any questions, Zach?
Well, yeah, Zach.
I get the gist so far.
You get the gist?
I got
I
a
know
fair
he's-
suggestion here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask a question in place of Zach because he seems to be a god who can understand all. When did LTAS make its way into the story?
All right.
Paid-
So when did
page
LTAS
5.
come in?
Yeah,
Well,
when did that forced meme get into it?
we keep going. Basically, let's just say, so Mr. K, he claimed to have a human uterus in the back room, and he kept it preserved. And so,
Is this real?
yeah, he
Yeah.
actually did have a human uterus.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah, he brought it out. It was just like all wrinkly and preserved.
Wow.
can't-
gross.
But that's
Take it
different.
easy.
That's different than the actual genital, if you know what I mean.
Vagina.
Which
Yeah, it's the womb.
it's the womb, yeah.
Cats.
What-
Those.
It's like the
It is where the baby is formed. So he had it
It's
preserved.
the placenta.
So we made jokes about it. And in the story, I end up accidentally destroying this organ with an explosion, and so I have to get. He says he says, I don't know it at the time, but he says, jokingly, and I don't know he's joking, he says, you have to get me a new one. He says, Trenton, I'm 36% sure you're a male, but I'm going to need a new uterus. And so...
But why do you need it? Why does uterus, Trent?
Can we?
Wait, can you say that
What?
again?
At this
Why
point,
did
it's not real.
Yeah, it's at this point,
Clarify.
it's very unreal. I forgot to say that. Unreal.
It's fictional.
No, you actually blew up a freaking human uterus in a jar.
No, I did
Oh,
not. What
Is this,
were we saying,
So
Slank?
was this story like? Did you think it was gonna be a cinematic universe?
No,
No.
we were just
no,
writing
it was
it.
just-
We
it
were
was
writing
just-
it for fun. So you were saying, Slancatto, like, what were you?
Yes, the reason he needed to get the uterus is because, as revenge for the punishment, he turned on all the gases in the lab to lead to just scale materials the next day. However, the next day there was a substitute.
Name drop.
Let's say he enjoyed. Sorry about that. Let's just say he enjoyed some special cigarettes.
Yeah.
Blew it up and killed him.
Dude, it was weed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a blunt. It was a fat
the
dude.
sub smoked a
He
blunt in the back. Now the back room I'm thinking about, and this is like more fiction. It was like sort of a sealed off room. You remember that one? That's sort of what I think about. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
in
I
fun
bring
fact-
it to him. I bring it to him. I get one. I bring it to him. He says, "You know, I was joking, right? That's covered by insurance." And so luckily I get off the hook somehow, because
Even though he killed. So as far
I like we're glossing over the fact that you cut it out of a woman.
well,
a police
yeah.
officer.
So the death toll, I think it's like, okay, one,
It's
2, 3,
three
4.
so
No,
far.
it's 4
Because
because
two cops, the sub, and the truck driver.
the truck driver, 2 cops, and the sub, they've all died. So I get arrested. Cops, they take me in. Truck driver T-bones the car, kills both cops. One of the cops happens to be a woman, but the truck driver was also a woman.
Don't
And
look at
so-
the horse in the mouth.
When we get to the black sheep of the stories.
That is book 2. But anyway,
Can we gloss over book 2, by the way? That was a
Please.
dump.
we could probably gloss over.
Surefire.
It's book 2
From
is
Literally have
From
nothing.
what I've heard, that's the weakest book in the series.
It's worse than book 4.
that is. I was trying to write that. It didn't turn out very well.
We were trying to
is
make like a
different perspective of book 2.
it was trying to be like one of those like famous director things where it's 2 storylines happening at the
Yeah,
sec.
it didn't.
But we were idiots and didn't know how to do it, so it was just really bad, really shit, and no one liked it. And that book is forever known as the worst book in the series.
Before we
Essentially,
continue, I want to say the process that never got out there. The person who was supposed to give the sub the marijuana turned out to be East, but it didn't make it in.
Oh, it didn't.
oh, that was
Was it cut?
Yeah,
the
that's
deepest
how it was
lore.
go, but then it got changed.
At this point, East hasn't been introduced.
No, he gets introduced.
When I catch him in the act of lubing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yes.
he basically we
book
made a
photo
joke.
that-
We made a joke about the uterus, but anyway,
That was right
we're
at-
trying to tell you this basically where LTAS comes in.
Yeah.
So the story wasn't going anywhere, so we wrote in that I see a symbol on his side of a line through a square. Now,
sex with his wife in the closet.
yeah, one thing
Why don't I remember this?
One thing, Zach, that we forgot to mention, the symbol right here, this line through a square, it always
Yeah.
has to slash at that angle. You cannot mirror it.
If it doesn't, it's called a swalty.
And that stands for square with a line through it. So that's different than line through a square.
If you
that
get
is
it
very
wrong,
important.
you're a big nerd. So
The whole reason was because Train kept messing it up, so I hated him.
yeah, it was
So
Yeah, so
who designed it?
I did.
Aaron designed
he
it.
designed it,
Excuse me.
and
Phil?
then
Sound like-
I designed the elegant one when it came time to actually put it on the storybook.
That was like when we get to the expanded. Where it was supposed to end after.
You did the gold version with eagles, correct?
Yeah, the Eagles.
I added the Eagles, yes.
Well, technically I did it, but it was in super crap format. But then you made it look nice.
Well, yeah,
So I see the symbol.
even.
I see the symbol on his side, and I have to get it off of him somehow. And so my attempts to cut it off of his skin fail because it comes back. And so then I realize that I've been marked with the symbol.
His
And
skin was made of spring silk, by the way.
so in this story,
This sounds so freaking dumb, like from an outside perspective.
well, if you were to read it, I mean,
it.
we got a lot to go through, and that's
Like we forgot to say, he broke into his house to do.
that's like we could do the
Oh, yeah.
podcast entirely reading it. We could just read it, but
An audiobook,
an
like a
audiobook.
play.
But I'm sort of this is the very abridged version of the origins of the LTAS. So it is the LTAS is like what the bad guy is in this story. It gets
There's
good
some-
later,
well, that's the way you do it.
but the LTAS is used by a dark force for the longest time. And
The
so
dark one, to be exact.
the great one though is the great amoeba in the sky. And the reason it is the great amoeba in the sky, and this is I feel like we just forget too much about the great amoeba in the sky. It is making fun of Pastafarians.
Yes, that is like the ongoing gag.
And so it is like a great amoeba, and I
With
So-
the amoeboid movement.
so being marked, Mr. K says, all right, so the best way to learn about amoeboid movement is to become it. And that's another inside joke. He would say
To become it.
the
Also,
best way to learn about
He only
X
has one
is to
kidney
become
at
it.
this point.
What were you saying?
He only has one kidney at this point.
Oh yeah, I basically
His Trent cut.
I stole it and I sold it.
Yes,
Yeah,
after
this
he
is,
accidentally summoned Squally.
And I summoned the square with the line through it, not the line through a square on accident.
There's a difference. Just refer to one as LTAS and one as Swalty.
All right, yeah. So essentially, this I've been marked with the LTAS, and Mr. K forces me to participate in the activity of replicating amoeboid movement. And so this is a heresy, because I'm a follower of the great amoeba in this story. So I get struck down by the great amoeba. My side starts burning, and Mr. K, his side starts burning, and we both pass out.
Situation like his scar hurts when he's near someone, near Voldemort.
I don't know.
Sure.
I'm not a Harry Potter weeb like you. I've never read
Dude.
anything, and I've never watched anything.
You've never
movies are-
read them? Have you ever had a childhood? What are you?
I chose
Dude,
to
that was
read.
totally part of my childhood.
I read the Owls of Ga'Hoole series. And I'm pretty sure it
Isn't
has
that the one
a.
where
I'm
they're
pretty
saying,
sure it has a
"Ugh,
higher Lex.
I read Percy Jackson.
I'm pretty sure.
I got bullied in school.
Pretty sure it has a higher Lexile
Oh, yeah.
score. So
People
r//
who
I'm very
read
smart.
Percy Jackson, people who read Percy Jackson are the same kid who like when in class, like in history class in like middle school, when they start talking about like Greek gods and crap, they could like lift their head off. It's my time.
Oh, about Poseidon. He was in Percy Jackson.
He had a son.
I'm not
was
dyslexic.
Perseus.
I'm not dyslexic. I'm an ancient demigod who can read Greek, but it confuses English with Greek.
Okay, we can rant
know.
about how
We can
freaking
rant about
stupid
that.
series is later.
We need to rant about
That
weebs
is
and
that.
furs.
Either way,
I'll pick up from you.
let's
So-
get back. Let's get back to what will happen in the story.
So pretty much, after they fell down in pain, Buddy and Trenton's mouth was gone, and it was replaced with Sudan Foe. Pretty
And
much, I spoke to him.
Placed with
saying,
what?
Sudan 4.
Sudan Foe, a red.
It is
I
a.
don't know what that
It's
is.
like a red dye used for like some sort of testing. I think it was some sort of.
Oh yeah.
It was some. We had to test we had to test a solution, and it would either
Oh,
have
yeah.
a protein, a sugar, or like a fat in it or something.
That all by herself.
Yeah, we had to test it. So
I screwed that up so bad. I used the cod oil, fish cod oil.
Trenton fainted.
Very last.
oh yeah, I'll tell you.
Take it off.
One of my so you didn't screw
I
up
passed
that much.
for it.
You didn't screw up that much. On the we had to do a
Final
where
test
we
tonight.
where we dye our own blood. So like we get our own blood and then we put a dye on it and then we view it underneath a microscope. And so what happened was I basically I passed out because it was just this, I don't know why, it was this pinprick, and I just kept thinking about it and I was like,
Your balls must be micro at this point. There is nothing there.
But hey, what makes me feel better is I wasn't the kid who wiped his blood on a slide that already had blood on it. That was like some animals.
You weren't that dude.
I wasn't that guy. And the teacher, she was Mr. K's wife. They were also doing the experiment. She got so angry at him, but I couldn't focus on that. I couldn't laugh at it. I couldn't laugh for long.
I know who you're talking about.
I couldn't laugh for long because I passed out. But anyway,
Yeah.
Sudan 4 is this red dye, and if you get it on your skin, it'll dye your skin red. So there's an amoeboid shaped blob of Sudan 4 on our skin. We've been marked by the great amoeba.
And when Trenton, pretty much Trenton's dreams, Great Amoeba's like, hey, LTAS is evil. You're my link. You need to fight him. So
Yeah.
Trenton watched the news. He saw this man who should really be more significant than he actually is in prison. Pretty much lots of tattoos. One was LTAS. So this confirmed that was his host.
Yeah. And so
Trenton proceeded to turn himself in for the three
illegal organ
models.
trading. I turned myself in for illegal organ trading.
Yes.
Like before. And so I went to the prison, and coincidentally, this is my cellmate. And so we both knew each other's power.
Wait. We should have prefaced this. You know the word I'm talking about. We should have started with, this story was written like each person does a paragraph at a time.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
we just freaking yank it in random positions. Like, say someone wants it to go like, oh, I want this, this, and this to happen because this happened 2 chapters ago. Well, someone could just interject that to happen some other direction. So reading the story is like, it's like having your head ripped back and forth over and over because 2 people writing in 2 different styles.
I mean, it's
Very weird.
It still helps really put a book out there or put a story out there, because it's hard to come up with stuff. So if you offload that to someone else, then come up with something, be inspired by their comment.
It wasn't as jarring in the later parts.
Yeah,
because
we got way better at it. So
thoughts.
yeah, so it went
early
back
on.
and forth and back and forth. And we're writing something now with the same method, but we're being more agreeable with each other. So it's gonna go better, be a better story. I already started reading it to someone though, and they said it was like someone watched anime, like a teen watched anime and decided to write their own fan fiction.
At this point, none of us are anime watchers, so
yeah. So I don't know.
We hate weebs.
That sounds like some kind of high school fan fiction. What?
Oh, dude, you
sounds
know,
like
that
sounds like high
fiction.
need to have
schoolers'
a-
dialogues.
Read book 4. Tell me that's not fan fiction.
It's fans'
Podcast needs to be about weebs and furries.
We'll
We
make.
can find a way.
Hey, don't worry. We'll have one episode of the podcast about weebs and furries later.
Later on.
But anyway,
Zach can host that one.
if we fast forward through the story a little bit, I fight this guy We destroy the
After he
prison.
kills everyone in the prison.
We destroy the prison.
Body count's at like 200-ish now.
Yeah, the body count's at like 204.
Oh yeah. Yeah. At this point, you've committed genocide.
So basically, the power of our weapons clashing. He has like a black sword, and I have, it's the school newspaper that's been rolled up like real tight, so like it's hard paper.
Which is
And so-
funny considering.
Yeah, that was also for a meme. Our weapons clash, and it generates so much power, we get transported to another dimension.
Which I think this is time for East to take over about this special dimension.
Yeah, this special dimension.
Oh, am I being gifted? Is it the? Okay, you're. It's been a
It's
while.
the Black Knight dimension.
Oh yes. Okay, this was a thing of my creation. This was my brainchild. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little mini origin story of the Black Knight. Me and my friend, he spent the night at my house and wooden swords, and we created this whole fictional universe about knights, and they were discriminated by the color of their armor. You know, it's a little social commentary there. But I thought it was. I wanted it cameoed in the story, and it would. And a fairly important plot point takes place in the Black Knight dimension. So
I think that's book 3.
No, it's book 1.
book 1 is where
Book one,
you're
book one,
introduced to
then
the
book
dimension.
3. Yeah, we're
And you get-
introduced to it, but book 3 we also go to it. It's
Yes.
also
You
a
get
common.
frozen
It's
It
a common theme.
introduces the volcano, which is a
Yes.
very important plot point.
That's
later
very
in the
important
story.
in book 5.
Yes.
So there, just to clarify, there are 6 books. Just to clarify, I think we should have said that right off the bat.
Well, the books aren't like 100 pages each, by the way. A book on average is like 20 pages long.
Well,
Yeah,
the-
they're
the
like an
first
hour
one are, like,
read.
5 pages each. Then 5 and 6 are like 40.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
5 and
Actual
6 are
count.
freaking long.
Yeah,
71 including encyclopedia.
Including, but if you put it into the size of like if you were to print it
Yeah.
out as a book, it's 100 and
Yeah.
something. It's
It's a
like
good-
110 or something.
it's a good read on a plane ride.
Especially
I,
a
Don't
very
let
bumpy
anyone
plane
see it,
ride.
you might be kicked
Oh
off.
yeah.
I whip out my physical copy of book 1 that I bound in leather.
I'm gonna bind
Holy
mine in
Grail.
leather when I can.
Okay,
But-
I
continue.
heard
But I'm gonna continue. What did you have a question?
I just heard that in some countries they think that the book is just as important as the Bible.
Oh,
It is.
you are right. Totally not making this up. Actually, it's one of the third religious sects that is fighting over Jerusalem.
Yeah, we don't
Yes,
know.
yes.
We don't know why we want Jerusalem, but we do.
Yeah,
See,
want-
But we sort of also want the Jews to rise up and defeat the Palestinians.
Okay, let's.
No, people
Okay.
don't realize.
Kind of
People don't
enlightened.
realize that a large majority of Russians moved to Jerusalem, and then they started reading our text. They started
this point,
following the
How
religion.
do you know this? We're just
At this,
we're just
at
now
this
telling
point,
you about the
I can't
religion.
tell what we're making up, and what we're
Oh,
actually
no,
saying.
I'm totally, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
canon, I think, that the theater is actually a church for LTAS in the story.
oh wow. So what
Okay,
happens? What happens is I get defeated in the battle, in the realm of battle. I get in this other dimension. I get thrown into a volcano. It says right here. It says right here. Let me.
Let me pull
Trenton charged
John
towards
3:16.
Trenton charged towards the being. As they clashed weapons, the being staggered backwards, breaking his guard. As Trenton went in for the finishing blow, the being struck back, piercing the tip of his sword into Trenton's mouth and flinging him into the volcano. Line through a square had
by the way,
one. He threw
The
his
sword
sword.
was a dildo.
Oh yeah, that was the joke. He threw his sword down towards the castle, then retreated to our dimension, knowing he was victorious.
Wow.
And
You know,
so
that just brings a tear to my eye.
from there on, this dark one wreaks havoc on the world. and takes over the world. And they're resistance fighters, and they're not very good.
We're jumping into book 3 right now.
Yeah, jumping straight to book 3.
Skipping book 2. Let's because I have a feeling that we're gonna have to have a lofty explanation of book 5 and 6. So let's maybe
So essentially, yeah, let's glaze through this. Essentially, I get revived by the great amoeba through a long and arduous process.
Just throwing 3 people into a volcano.
Yeah.
And
the dark one gets a new physical form, and this was someone at our school that we didn't like.
Let's call him Jay.
Yeah. So
Can you give me some descriptors so I kind of have an idea?
Star-spangled suit.
Yeah.
How about this? Hey guys.
raped people at Subway.
I like how none of these are sticking. These are like defining features of this person.
He was possibly also shared a name with a Subway spokesperson.
Oh.
That's
Oh, yeah.
You pretty much could have just name dropped there.
And
yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
He made a cool stale meme dimension. It was pretty great.
He made the world into a stale meme dimension. And
does as he spouts out
with a bunch of dat boys, and I get killed by Hillary Clinton dressed up as dat boy in that dimension.
She was dabbing. Am I remembering that correct?
Yeah, she was dabbing, and this was probably back when the election was really taking off. So Hillary Clinton was dabbing.
She didn't, by the way. She had a seizure, but it was a fake seizure.
Oh yeah, she had a seizure too.
Really?
And I went in for the kill while she had a seizure, but she ripped my throat out. And so the dark one won for like a second time.
She got beat up by Hillary Clinton.
Mrs.
Get laid
Clinton,
out, kiddo.
If by chance in some weird world that you're listening to this, we're sorry.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Hashtag it should have been Hillary.
No, not a chance.
Oprah 2020.
Let me go almost all the way to the end to really skim through book 3.
At the end is the most important part of book 3.
So, folks, this is where Eren and East get introduced. Mr. K, after the world got taken over by the Dark One, got resistant.
Yeah.
Suppose the best man to save Trenton would be his friend. So,
yeah.
So Eren East, after knows they need a sacrifice to open a portal. So he proceeded to cut the head off of another person, it was his penis, and it becomes a gag later on.
Yeah, it's a big gag. He cut his head off.
Nudge, nudge.
That's the gag. It
Yeah.
happens multiple times throughout the story.
Penis. Comedy.
Ha, comedy gold.
Yeah, age shows.
So anyway, that didn't work.
Actually might have, but Ken made it a penis.
That didn't really do anything because they summoned Swalty instead of LTAS again. So I think if we really, really keep going and just go all the way to the end.
Provide Trent.
And this is very important. Mr. K, he has a legendary machete that he's used for a while now, and I think there's
the symbol is on it. The symbol
yes,
you see on your screen now.
it is a golden machete, and it has this symbol etched into the side.
I believe later on in the story they refer to it as the gilded machete, and I don't know why it changed, but it did.
And so,
because we had no idea this was gonna happen. And so,
Mr. K basically gains the power. Well, he has to use the power of the Great Amoeba to end the world, to defeat the Dark One, and at the same time he gains the power, and so. Mr. K, in the end, has ended the entire universe There's nothing there anymore, and he is in basically the closest thing to God.
Yeah, he
in that
is
universe.
almost a god at this point. He's got power similar to that. He can create things. He can create like things from nothing. He can bend reality. He can do all this crazy shit.
So this is basically where it transitions from Universe 1 to Universe 2. And so
Yes.
what he does at the very end, what Mr. K does, is he sends power into some kind of Universe 2. And that is when I'm revived in Universe 2.
Yes.
I think first we need
We need to
Talk
explain.
about, and we're gonna gloss over book 4.
We need to explain in Universe 2. In Universe 2, there is a different version of me.
That is replaced by the current version.
Yeah, that has been
one from OG Universe.
And it's not exactly canon.
It's canon.
You know, it's canon. We decided
no,
it's canon.
but
it's not in the story, but it's like.
But my second, my Universe 2 self gets killed by a meteor.
Oh, you're talking about
That's
that.
a killer.
That's not canon.
That's not canon.
No, that's
well,
not
he
canon.
he goes missing. Replaced. He goes missing somehow still.
Yes. So you are an imposter of the Universe 2 Trenton. You are like the imposter, but a big plot point of book 5 is he seems a little different.
Yeah, book 5.
That whole shebang. Which book 5 is where our shine.
Truly. That is really where we start using the power of the Great Amoeba and the LTAS.
No, we don't use Great Amoeba. It is literally never mentioned again.
Oh, it's never mentioned again. We start using the power. We start using the power of the LTAS instead.
Universe 2 LTAS is good.
Yes, yeah, because each universe something slightly is different, like slight changes happen. And in this universe, instead of the LTAS being bad, it is like a thing that is good. It's like a good god.
It can be used for good or evil.
Yeah, it's
the
like
only god that is the same over all universes is Skullteeth.
Yeah, but he's weak and no one likes him. So
yes.
Yeah. What happens is, well, we can gloss over book 4. Gloss over it.
Let's just say it turns into. It can be referred to as.
It was a joke between me and East.
Yeah.
Yes, but we needed to use it to like.
It was a big joke.
Progress.
But we used it as a springboard.
Let's just say it gets a little flamboyant.
It starts off. Well, it starts off because. It
starts off serious.
Wackofan, you and Slancatto, you had the same chemistry teacher, and he particularly used to work at Dr. Pepper and 7-Up. You might know this teacher, Zach.
Name?
I'm not going to drop the name. He has
a similar name to a large fast food company.
Yeah, maybe.
See, at this point, you might as well just say it.
McD.
We might as well say it in the story. Have you looked at what we showed it to?
Oh, yes.
He's McD.
My male teacher's name is Wendy. Okay. What else is going to be? His name is Burger King.
I had the worst chemistry teacher.
He's Burger.
Oh, you did?
I had
W.
I had Big Jorg.
Oh, you had. I know. I think. Are you talking about Big the W guy who had a lot of freaking memes that were stale?
Walter.
No. It was a female, and
female.
She did some crazy things. Like she told us a story about her going and picking somebody up when she went to the liquor store. A homeless man, a hitchhiker, dropped him off somewhere, and she was like intoxicated or something. It was weird.
Why did she tell you this?
The math teachers.
Speaking of which, you guys remember that teacher in middle school that
the math
they found
teachers
pictures
had
of her on the internet drinking like a bunch of shots and stuff?
And did they meme it?
Yeah, they memed it really hard.
Was it Mrs.? Was it Mrs.?
I have no idea. I did not go to this. I didn't know who.
I
didn't go to your elementary.
It was a thing.
I think I know who it is.
But it was like she made jokes about like drinking shots and stuff, and actual pictures and stuff of her doing that, like at a bar partying, and it became like an ongoing gag.
Book 4, it's about that chemistry teacher and how he used to
Yes.
work it, and he's obsessed with Dr. Pepper 7-Up, and he makes his students make it for a grade. So book
Not
5.
in real life.
Yeah. Well, we don't know
Well.
if really out.
So book 5, do you want to explain this, Wackofan? Because
Oh.
I know
Book
you haven't
five,
talked about it a lot.
Let's mention that the first couple of paragraphs, is the second draft because the first one was just terrible.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, the first
there was
it went off.
someone made a stupid mistake. and
I
don't
did.
remember what.
I made a mistake and it went way off.
Oh yeah, you wanted someone to be a minor character or something, but I can't remember. We had a clash of ideas and it turned into a clusterfuck, so we just changed it. But the beginning starts out this in universe 2, okay? There's some deep slow I got to drop. Okay, this is high school when we're writing this, okay? So we got the edgy, the edgy high school comedy, the edgy dark humor. So of course the Nazis are in it.
What else? Who else is going to be a bad
Obviously.
guy?
Who else is going to be the bad guy? Have you seen any Indiana Jones film? But anyway, the Nazis are still around in modern day, and they own a part of America. I can't remember the exact states that they own. They've possessed.
I think it's Illinois, Ohio, the one below Illinois, and the one just to the right diagonal of Illinois.
I actually
Down.
have an image on my computer a map I made. that
I
displays
forgot.
all the-
I forgot what it's called. Everyone just laughed when I told them
Tennessee,
about book
Tennessee
5.
or Kentucky?
The Discords, the voice chats, they just laugh because I'm like, yeah, Tennessee. It was Tennessee and Kentucky because they thought
'cause we
thought
chose-
the states weren't connected. I was like, what are you talking about?
How exactly they got landlocked area of the U.S. we'll never know.
Well, we pretty
it's
much
because-
chose those states because those states are never portrayed in media.
It's because they won,
that was the joke.
and because basically the story was brought about because I saw a Wolfenstein trailer.
That's
why.
Wolfenstein 2 is a pretty good game.
Was that when Wolfenstein 2 trailer dropped?
I think
Was that around that time?
because I saw the trailer. It was in the ad. It was in the YouTube ads.
I'm thinking about buying that game. It looks good. Anyway,
So
My
So there happens to be the volcano from the Dark Knight's dimension in Chicago.
it jumped. I'm assuming
Yeah, it jumped because of something that
Because
happened.
because reasons.
let's explain dimensions.
And so
Dimensions out inside universe.
Dimensions are not
there's
of the
multiple
same-
Black Knight.
Yeah.
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 So what
They're,
happened?
uh,
Universe
What
It's
happened
different
was
scale.
is it like have you seen that game?
You didn't what game?
Lego Dimensions.
Lego Dimensions. No, it's not like
No.
Lego Dimensions. Imagine
That-
a
that
universe
game's
is
a
a
little
big
bit
box, and then dimensions are little bubbles in this box, but the bubble is its own little thing. But they're not of the same scale as the box itself.
So this is the significant plot point we forgot to mention that was in book 3. So Mr. K, Iran, and East, which are my friends in the story, they basically go to the Black Knight's dimension, but you see Mr. K drops his machete.
He drops
into
it.
into the lava. It happens to be indestructible. That's just, maybe a plot hole right there.
That was a major plot hole that we never.
But it ends
clarified.
up in this dimension, in this universe, and it ends up within the volcano. So Nazi archaeologists, they are looking there because
Angela, to be specific.
Angela, the head of the
I don't
archaeologist.
remember if that was actually based on a certain person or not.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was
It
just
wasn't.
a random name.
I know
chose.
exactly who was based on who, and I know that we made up a lot of characters in book 5.
So it was okay. So it's set in Nazi-occupied Illinois because
And out of it, it's
And
takes
out of
place
it.
in both.
because reason number 1, Wolfenstein 2 was coming out, and reason number 2, this is the biggest reason I tell everyone. I found this goofy picture. I said one day, "Hey, let's
How
look
did I
up
read
let's
about
look up anime Nazi girls."
I remember this.
I found
remember
this goofy picture,
story.
badly drawn, like so badly drawn that I went into Photoshop and I corrected the proportions.
You
Just for
were
fun.
actually aggravated by it.
I was aggravated by it. Plus,
Golly.
I wanted a slightly better version. So it's this anime Nazi girl, and I said, "This is Haley Hitler."
Like
No.
it's spelled like Hail Hitler.
Yeah.
No,
God.
that is
Yeah.
wrong. The actual
Isn't it?
picture is called Haley Hitler.
Was it
No,
actually?
no.
Did it have that name?
I've been fairly sorry. I can prove this.
No,
No,
you
it
can't.
did not
didn't.
have that name.
No, it didn't
didn't.
have any text. We put the text on it.
I named Haley Hitler.
We put the text on it because we had the ongoing. I remember the conversation. Me and Trenton were sitting together, and we found it. We thought it was hilarious. And we were showing people, this is freaking funny.
I still
And
have the
everyone's like, this
meme.
is stupid, and I hate it. And we were like, this person is great. And then I said something like, no, you said. I think you brought the name up.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, sorry. It just says Hail Hitler on it. Never mind.
Yeah, I think that's where it came from. I said Hail Hitler, and someone thought, oh, Hail, Haley Hitler.
And so
And
in
that-
this story, I said, you know what, Wackofan, we got to somehow find out a way to put this into one of the stories sometime. This Nazi
Which
I
leader.
I believe this was before Book 5 was even starting.
Yeah.
This was way before Book 5 started. This was probably a couple
So
weeks before.
what I did, Haley Hitler is looking for this LTAS power. And so that's why she sent this archaeologist team to look in the volcano. And so Angela ends up finding this relic, this gilded machete that's in perfect condition with the symbol on the side. It says she revealed what looked like an old gilded machete with a cutlass guard. Angela noticed a marking resembling something like a Nordic rune lined through a square. She felt a strange power radiate from the blade.
It sounds a lot better when you read it, but like the actual grammar of it is probably terrible.
Yeah. This must be used for ritualistic purposes. It seems far too impractical.
Oh.
She delicately, yeah, because that's what a lot of archaeologists say about tools and stuff.
Yes.
She delicately pulls it from the stone and reveals its magnificent features. I must take this to Haley at once. She grabbed her things and hurried off. And so Haley receives this. Oh, you have a question?
First of all, on her way back, she sees East, who's yelling at the Nazis. Off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Zach, I think you had a question.
Okay, so I'm trying to get. No, I'm trying to keep up. So she's an archaeologist.
Who works for the Nazis?
Yeah, Angela's the head archaeologist.
How much is she getting paid?
Probably like
$12.
Probably good. I don't know. I mean, they are the National Socialist Party, so
I don't
it's
think
probably not very good.
I don't think she got paid. That's not a thing we talk about.
Yeah,
but
we
she
don't
probably
talk
didn't
about
get
it.
paid. I mean, she's probably like employed by the party itself. You know, they don't pay people because they suck.
Does not hyperinflation. As he
Probably, probably.
So she got paid about 12 billion Nazi dollars, which is about half of.
It's like that one country who started selling dirt because it's more profitable than their money.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
To them.
100,000 trillion dollar bill that equates to 100 US dollars. Either way,
It's the country of Zimbabwe.
I think they actually started using their dollar bills and just started using dirt.
They started using something else. Like we ain't making this up. It wasn't dirt, but I don't know what it was.
They probably started using like logs.
I think
Or
it was
like-
just like they went back to trade. Like a lot of villages started to just do trading.
Or they
instead of
probably
actually-
use like water, something, or maybe food, something that they can use in Africa. I don't know.
Yeah, they bartered and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing.
So Haley receives this blade and has been trying to get this line through a square blade forever. So let me scroll to the part
Where she's tipped off to go to our school. Sorry.
How is that again?
How is
I
that?
don't remember
let's,
how they got
Let's look it up.
tipped off. He puts on reading glasses, he pushes them up like they got the little chains like the librarians, and he's like
All right.
flipping really
So
fast through the pages.
This is something that I've actually forgot about. Through her travels through many dimensions and universes, which should not be there, she discovered of the power associated with the symbol, and she learned that it started in our hometown.
Yeah, because she herself is actually from the anime dimension, but she's been disguised.
Great.
She's disguised
Yeah.
herself as a human.
She's actually an animated character, like in universe. If she takes off her disguise, she looks like an animated character,
Yeah.
kind of like Space Jam.
They
Or like
have
Roger
shit
Rabbit.
with the water.
But still poorly drawn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So she's tipped off. It's in our hometown. Which we probably, if we're gonna actually like publish
No, don't.
this,
No hometown drop.
everyone's gonna come to our hometown because it's written in there. And we forgot to censor it out. Either way,
Don't link this.
she gets in her private stealth chopper on the roof and comes over. So she's basically got to then disguise herself as a
student.
As a student, yeah. She goes to one of the most historical places, which it happens to be our school.
Oh my gosh, dude! In hindsight,
Founded in
hindsight,
1890.
in hindsight,
I
holy
doubt
shit,
it.
anime plot.
We should have
You only found that now?
You guys should have shown this to the anime club.
Dude, they would have freaking loved it
Dude, we need to create an
would've-
LTAS club.
So basically,
because they'd have to ask what the hell it means, and we'd have to explain.
the East Germans became Nazis.
Not related to East.
Yeah, not related to East. And the West Germans are just regular Germans. So Haley's posing as a West German exchange student.
This is so stupid in hindsight.
Oh dang, we forgot to
Just
censor
wait.
out the German teachers' names and change them. Okay,
It's
so
not a human name though, so let's be honest.
So Frau Blank and Frau Blank, which two German teachers, were both very excited to have the perspective of another West German due to the strong stereotype that all Germans were Nazis.
I just remembering the story you told me about the teacher talking about edgy people who join the class because they think it'll be
Edgy people.
Yeah.
When the German native teacher gets super angry at someone drawing a swastika. Why would you do this?
When the first day of school for German 1, she's like, all right, write on the board what you think about when you hear Germany.
Nazis.
All right.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Nazis, Hitler, Nazis,
know about you guys.
Holocaust.
I don't know about you guys,
think
but
you're
I'm not
right.
a racist. So I actually think of Beethoven and Bach.
That's not racist.
That's Austrian. One of
Yeah, one of them
I
is
don't know
actually Austrian.
I think,
so you got that wrong.
I know one's Austrian and one's German, but people think he's Austrian. I think that's how it goes.
There's like a whole shebang about it. But yeah, that's not
Cool.
racist. That's
I mean-
I don't know what the term is, but that's like ethnicity based.
You think one of their songs would be titled something about kangaroos if they were Austrian? But
God damn
anyway, Zach, you were saying?
Austria? Is that a meme? You better be memeing.
Yeah, I'm
please.
memeing.
I
Zach-
couldn't tell.
Zach, you were saying?
You said it so straight face.
What are you saying?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
What?
Zach.
Just Germany in general. First thing that comes up to my mind is schnitzels.
Schnitzels? What's a schnitzel?
It's
Like a pretzel.
No, it's not. It's
It's not a pretzel?
I don't
It's-
even know what a schnitzel
It's
is.
it's a slice of veal. That's basically it. It's veal.
Oh, is it dried?
No, it's like
Thought it was
cooked,
dried.
just regular cooked, and it's veal.
I know what you're talking about. I just didn't know it was called a schnitzel.
And then you can get it. I think it's cooked with, like probably some sauce, and then I think you can
Just
probably
some sauce.
you can get it with French fries at the cheaper restaurants.
A schnitzel is meat, usually thinned by pounding with a meat tenderizer LTAS frying in some kind of oil or fat.
It's either veal or tenderized.
Thank you for the definition.
A lot of people
We need
think
to-
it's some kind of cupcake or Danish.
Yeah, that's not what that is. Anyway, let's jump off the German train. And
Yes. And so
Go back to the Nazi train.
No,
We're
they're
doing
only a
part of
minor
the
part of the
story.
train.
and so East and Iran, they're a little bit suspicious of this West German girl named Haley Hitler. Which she doesn't.
Wait, does she change her name?
She changes
No,
her
no.
last. She probably changes her last name.
It's we never talked about this, but it's now canon that her name was Haley Hitler, but no one realized because people are stupid.
No one questioned it. No one
Yeah.
no one batted an eye.
Ooh. Oh no. Trenton was interrupted by East. Haley es muy stupido, shouts East. Haley's eyes fill with rage as she grabs for a sharpened protractor, just as she is about to slice East's peen off when Trenton jumps in and pushes Haley away. What are you doing? Yelled Trenton.
Oh my gosh.
Warum
So
hast du
well,
das
great.
getan?
So, wait a
Yeah.
minute, I have a question.
Yeah.
What happens when they do cut it off? What do they just throw it away, or do they like put it somewhere, preserve it?
Well, I regrow it.
It's with magic.
Yeah,
It's 'cause
there's
he's a
Matt.
master
Oh, it
hunter.
does say you.
There's a giant plot point we literally just missed.
Yeah.
In Universe 2, magic is
Oh yes,
commonplace.
it's commonplace. But sometimes hipsters do it. It becomes more commonplace than it's eventually taught in school. As
Yes,
like
but,
as like an elective.
it's
But
not like Harry Potter magic. It's
Eron
like-
said, "I knew it. Die, Haley Hitler." So I guess they know her name is Haley Hitler anyway. Eron took out his
Who
copy of
knows?
LTAS and tried to fire a bolt of energy at Haley, but Trenton bravely jumped in front of the bolt and was hit. Trenton, Haley said as she jumped down to help him. No, Eron said as he lined up another shot, but East slapped the story out of his hands and said, "Lol, it's not her. Would she try to help if she was evil?" No, Haley said, looking down at Trenton and said
Lol.
with tears in her eyes, I love you, Trenton. Please come back." Trenton,
This
no.
is totally. I bet you this was written by you. If it wasn't, I swear.
Yes.
No, I did it because we wanted to mess with her. It was either me or
It's
you.
for the, well, it's
We wanted to mess with them.
it's for the ironically being like an anime girlfriend, just
Yeah.
for
It
the
was like-
just for the irony.
How deep does the
and
irony
by the way,
go, and when does it
Rose-
turn into non-ironic humor?
Well,
I like the emotional weight we're presented
like-
here.
It's
I
like a
will-
Romeo and Juliet, like they love each other, but they can't because one's part of the capitalist system and one's part of the other system.
But then she just was like, fuck it, I'm not going to be on the lead of a country anymore because I want to marry this.
yeah,
kid."
because
so
I
pretty
need
much-
to learn the LTAS magic. I need to get through Trenton to learn the LTAS magic. That's basically.
I think we justified her leaving the Nazis because like she created the Nazis in that universe to find LTAS stuff, and it
Okay,
was
yeah.
right in front of her, so it was
Yeah,
beneficial
she-
for her to just leave the Nazis.
Wait,
Yeah.
Are we? Does this mean that Jews are more inclined to the Is that why she gathered them all up?
Oh, like
Honestly, it wouldn't even make sense if that's the reasoning she created the Nazis. It wouldn't even make sense that the Nazis persecuted them.
Let's say
wouldn't
in this
make
universe they
sense.
collected them because find LTAS.
Okay, I
they're-
feel like we're reaching a point where we should stop talking about.
we're getting
that.
we're getting too deep. We're getting too
We're
deep
getting
into the
dangerously
philosophy.
close. We're getting
Whoa.
dangerously close to denying the home.
We're
getting-
non-conspirators.
We're getting
We're
deep
not.
into the philosophy of
This
it.
is an
instead of-
ongoing meme. This is not something we
Bush
believe
did
in.
7-Eleven.
It's like the next thing we talk about is the steel beams.
Oh yeah, it says here the whole point
No,
that the
the
Nazis
next
exist is to
will be
obtain
by
power. Once I have this, I will have no reason to stay with them. Haley types back almost in. Oh yeah, I'm texting her. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
this was at a
provide you
later
with a
point.
copy of the second book to start off, so you can get used to it. And the second book is like not good one.
It's like a beginner level, so it's
Beginner.
like because in the universe too, the book is red, and it's like kind of like that magic, like reading from a book and like incantations, you know.
Yeah. So it turns suspicious as to whether I'm the real Trenton or not. And so basically it escalates to to the fact that Iran learns I'm from another dimension, and I don't know it because I've just been revived, and so I just have no memory of it. So anyway,
You've just been. Oh yeah.
yeah,
You have,
so,
your memory is still like you don't know that you're from Universe 1 at this point.
yeah, I get like little Vietnam flashbacks of it, but I don't really know. So anyway, Iran attacks me with the LTAS magic to try to get me. Like, I think he ends up.
Kill you.
I fall down the stairs or something.
Yeah.
And it like makes me remember because I hit my head or something.
Oh, this is what happened. We were trying to get you to realize she's a Nazi, so I pushed you down the stairs, and she caught you with a swastika.
Oh,
With the
yeah,
swastika magic.
her magic looks like that. Yeah, I remember that.
Something, something
Aaron
about
is-
red magic. I remember. Sudan 4.
The mall.
The mark of the beast. Sudan 4, the mark of the amoeba.
Yeah. So, this is funny. There's a little bit of a cameo for Jay. A familiar face has come over to the table sporting an American flag suit. Sup, my neighbor? The flag suit wearing Jay said. Want to fight? Go fight those germs. Excuse me, Haley said. We're not all Nazis. Oh yeah? I see you're one of those blondies. Jay, go away, Iran said. We have some important business to discuss with Trenton. Nah, my fellow trash, I'm staying.
My fellow trash.
The crew had to be careful so that Jay would never find out Haley was a Nazi. Is that your girlfriend? Asked Jay in his nasally sarcastic voice. Yeah, I'm not a gay like you, replied Trenton.
Why is that
That's
Speaking of book foe.
so hateful.
My question is, why'd that become a running joke?
I read ahead, and it's super funny.
It's probably more funny to us than anyone else listening to this.
Because he talks like this. and it's super funny with what he says. So let me read the next
dude.
Let me read the next part because it's just funny. Yeah, I'm not a gay like you, replied Trenton. I watch the weird fetish stuff, but that doesn't make me gay. I can't read it with a straight.
Don't knock until you try it.
I watch the weird fetish stuff, but that doesn't make me gay. Answered Jay contradictorily. This was getting nowhere, but Trenton had a trick up his sleeve that nobody knew yet. He started eating his food without touching it with his hands. This is a running joke because if I have a sandwich and I've packed it for lunch and it's in the plastic Ziploc bag, I will not touch the sandwich. Especially
But he also does it with chips and like fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will not.
I don't like those.
eat
I don't
anything.
like oily feelings on my hands, and I don't want to get some mayonnaise stuck to my fingers.
He doesn't want gamer gunk on his gamer gear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that'll spread gamer gunk to my gamer gear.
Yes.
No, but like,
It's gonna put like oily fingerprints on my keyboard.
Yeah, he's really anal about that. So
do one thing and they start calling you it.
And so that is what leads to Iran finding out I'm not the actual Trenton from the regular dimension.
that's it.
Yeah,
That's the reason.
That's the biggest reason.
Because you don't touch your sandwich when you eat it. It gives him the Trenton I know fondles his food. Like what?
You respect your food. I understand it.
So anyway, because of this fight that Iran attacked me and I, get knocked out and go to the nurse, basically I get expelled from school, but Iran doesn't. I get suspended. And so I basically just spend time training. It's like a training montage. I spend time training my power.
Is this when you built when you were attacked by
yeah, but what happens is
in your
the the Nazis, they send robo soldiers to my
And
house.
robo animals, I believe. Did we introduce robo dogs at this point? Was that a
I
thing?
don't-
And for some reason, I don't know why I haven't realized I'm doing this. I imagine in my story this house as like a completely different house than the house I'm in. And I have no idea why I did that. I have no idea why I'm doing that.
I imagined it as your house, and I've only ever seen your house from the outside, so I just have this weird perception of how your house is laid out in my head.
Yeah. So basically, let me go through. Just trying to find the good section.
You gotta search through the
yeah.
you gotta scan the many pages. I think we should pick up the pace too, so we can jump to book 6.
Yeah. First, Trenton cast a spell to
yeah.
barricade his house, even though it wouldn't last. It could buy him time. He ran over to his various instruments and selected the melodica. Carefully, he cast the spell of whole rest upon the Nazi soldiers outside. Oh, a whole rest is like when you don't play anything for 4 beats.
So you just held it.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
The Nazi robo soldiers. That's the sentence. The Nazi robo soldier. That's just one sentence. Brute force may be the only way to.
Gods.
Yeah, brute force may be the only way to kill him, thought Trenton. Trenton ran to his garage, for he knew he had just the magical weapon to use. Oh yes, this is where it comes in. His mighty spiked axe. The axe would be no use against the armor. Trenton flipped over to the penetrating spike. "Do for the earst," robotically stated the robot. "Halt. Nick Toita," one-liner Trenton as he slammed the spike into the robot, creating a 1/2 inch hole. What?
This is great.
By the way, the whole
What is
reason,
this? Oh,
one of the reasons all this German is because East really hates to make fun of him for it.
and this is really broken German, by the way. I don't know why it says Zehen hits later, and the robot was just starting to notice severe damage. That's not even German. Zehen is not a word. Zehen.
I probably wrote it.
Anyway, you
Ich
beat
kann
the
nicht
crap out of
sterben. Ich kann nicht sterben, nervously chanted the robo-Nazi, struggling to parry the attacks. Yeah, and it's just an excuse for me to type in German. Yeah, again.
You're pretty much just flexing your German 3 chops at this point.
German 4, yeah.
Oh, was it German 4 at this point?
I think it was German 4 at this point.
3.5.
3.5. It can't next step. Either way. Basically, it turns into the fact that because the Nazis have come after us because Haley quit being a Nazi, we have to just destroy the Nazis. And we have to eliminate them from America.
Yes. Purge the unclean.
Purge.
So, I think it goes something like the blonde trio, blah blah blah. It goes something along the lines of that.
Oh, Euron dies, so
Euron dies because the blonde
Euron
trio.
explodes, like literally pops.
Let me
like a balloon.
explain. Let me explain the blonde trio. So first, we have a geometry teacher, and I'd always make Illuminati jokes with the triangles and all in geometry. So the geometry teacher gives this. There was this group of kids. They'd come. They were like underclassmen to us. They'd come and they sit at the table because their table got taken by the special needs kids who got there first. And so they didn't have the guts to ask the special needs kids to move. So
Well, I mean, you can't, man. That's like a unspoken rule.
well, like they couldn't even sit with them. Come on.
They
Yeah,
just
I mean-
didn't want to sit with them.
And so they're like, being big nerds, talking about VR and whatnot.
And they're all subservient to one guy, which is a real thing.
And most of them were actually blonde.
All of them were
Only-
except one, but we didn't count him. He was like the 4th one.
Yeah. And so the geometry teacher uses them through triangle power as a blonde trio. They are all one. They all speak as one.
Think of like Codename Kid Next Door, like the kids, the bad kids. Have you ever seen that? No one's seen that.
I've seen it. I've seen it a few times, but I've not.
Zach knows what I'm talking about. The kids that are the bad guy, like
the bowl
his
haircuts
children,
and everything,
and they're all like stuck together and they speak as one.
That has a bull haircut.
Yeah, that's how I envision them pretty much. I envision like
they're the bad guys, right?
Yeah, they're bad
in this book.
In the book they're bad, and in the show Codename Kid Next Door they're bad.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, continue.
I defeat them with a fidget spinner, I think.
This was when fidget spinners were popular, I believe.
No, this is when they were dying.
Was it really?
Yeah, and I have it. Okay. I have like when kids they'd put the razor blade on their fidget spinner, and like there's an actual video of a kid. He puts a bunch of razor blades and spins his fidget spinner, and he ends up like cutting it between his finger and thumb, and he's like, "Whoa, check that out!" I'm like sitting there like, "Oh, this kid's gonna have to get stitches." Either way, I have a bladed fidget spinner in this that I use to destroy them.
An important segment. Doing this, East just didn't care about it and went and sat at some other table. Yeah. And
meanwhile, at another table, East side stood up. "Lol, dudes, can you please shut up? I'm trying to work here," he said with a laptop with a Google image search of Sonic OC open up on it. Huh.
That's why I one-shot him, right?
Yeah, you end up defeating them because you kick them in the balls.
But first, Haley shot a big beam at them, and they dodged, and it hit Aaron and killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Aaron stays dead.
And there's guts everywhere.
"No hoods in school," said the pesky principal. "Thankful, grateful, blessed," said Trenton, making the principal furiously storm away. "Lol, what was that about?" asked East. "It's a phrase that she denied to be put on a poster, so now I'm memeing it," answered Trenton. Yeah, that was
might have been a thing.
I remember that.
Yeah.
There was a poster that said like it had the word "blessed" on it, and people they were like, "You can't use it because it refers to like religious symbolism or something." I was like, the word "blessed" does not itself refer to that, but okay.
And then so I mean, I don't think the principal was that wrong in this. It was even a Christian principal or assistant principal that said like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't put it on there."
Yeah,
because it's a public school. And so
it was
let's get off this and back to the story.
Well, anyway, I want to tell you.
Not that we have any ideas or anything. We don't actually care. The
people that made the poster, originally, they decided to make T-shirts and sell them. So they just got money off of it. Like, was that their plan? They made a whole big deal out of it. And
probably made a freaking like $100 out of that.
Yeah, they probably. But anyway,
let's jump to important plot points.
Okay, so we're driving. We end up
East Aaron Trenton.
Yeah. So we're driving to
Haley.
Yeah, Haley's in the car. We're driving to the Nazi territory.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of slug bugs following behind us. And so basically,
yeah.
What is it? We have to.
And since East's the only one with a license, he drives.
Yeah, East said, "Lol." Yeah. East said, "Lol, if you don't shut up, I will turn this car around." Trenton whining said, "But East." "Lol, that's it, Trenton," he said, yanking the wheel. They turned around facing the Nazi vehicle horde, but they only faced
turn it around, right? Like,
yeah, but they only faced them for a second because they were spinning out. The Nazis looked confused, but kept coming closer. The car had done a 180 flip and landed it. Basically, it ends up in a ditch, and Haley uses her power to dimensionally travel. We travel to another dimension.
This is.
And we walk.
We retconned later.
Yeah, we travel to another dimension, walk through it a little bit, and then travel back into the regular universe.
It's kind of like Minecraft in the Nether. How if you travel in the Nether, you travel further in the actual.
No, but the dimensions are actually smaller, right?
Yeah, I know.
Or they're
I
most
don't
of
understand
them are
why.
like connected or whatever. So anyway,
Yeah.
we end up in the forest and we end up walking all the way to the Nazi place, and there's like Nazi robot deer, and
And I kill him.
East the master hunter kills them and somehow harvests meat from the robots. And so we cook it, we camp out, we find the Swalty cult and kill them all.
By flicking them.
Yeah.
Doesn't my character die really freaking badass? And
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I have like the most badass death. Like I'm stabbed and then I fall into a dumpster.
No,
You know, you jump into the dumpster, get stabbed, and
Yeah, it's the only way.
No, yeah, we jump, and what was the thing? I die by getting hit by a train, but you guys jump and go through the front windshield.
Yeah, you break the windshield, and then we're in the windshield like smoothly, but you've already broken it, and you're like dying already.
It was the most
stabbed.
metal death ever.
And your big stick of metal sticking out of your chest like stabs the conductor, then falls out, killing you.
Yeah, it was because of dimensional traveling that we ended up in the train subway area. And so
that power.
After that, I think we get off the train, right? And in the subway, there happens to be an underground group fighting against the Nazis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was led by Wattage, who rip in peace. Rip in peace, Wattage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never heard from him ever again.
He was someone we knew, and he just vanished, and no one knows where he went.
I saw him because I got to work in the office, basically handing out slips telling people, hey, you need to go to the office because you're checking out. Because they didn't have an intercom system for some reason. Either way, I saw him in the office doing something, and he just like, I said hi to him, and as he was leaving, I'm like, where'd you go? And he just left. Like, where were you? Anyway.
He was to spy to see what the hell LTAS is from that guy.
Yeah.
And he had to quit because it was too stressful.
Yeah. And he became somewhat part of the group for like literally like a paragraph.
Yeah, and he was,
because his thing was he was a huge grammar Nazi, and he could tell when people are speaking and using improper grammar and like misspelling the words or saying.
He'd point it out. Dude, a good idea we should have done is that when we do it on point out, like he'd break the fourth wall and go, by the way, when you said there, you spelled it wrong, and then everyone else would be like, what the heck are you talking about? But only he would know. That would have been freaking hilarious.
And it was super annoying. Oh wait, that was supposed to be though.
When you said out loud there, you spelled it wrong.
Yeah, and then in the story it's spelled wrong. That would be hilarious. Oh, that would have been gold.
So I forgot to mention before this. I think we basically like hacked their Twitter, the Nazi Twitter or something, and we made it go out all over Nazi Twitter. The phrase "Jews are super cool."
Oh yeah, we made like the whole plan was to make like a edgy meme. All the edgy you.
Because I'm a Zionist, and so that's basically an edgy meme in Nazi America, saying Jews are super cool.
Yeah, weird crap like that.
Everyone started freaking out, and I really don't want to go into the nitty gritty. Can I just say
just over span over?
We get like I don't know, some kind of large gun. I can't remember if it's U.S.
It's a MOAB, a Moab. No, it was a Moab.
Okay, yeah.
Massive ordnance air burst.
We destroy it. We basically destroy Chicago.
Yeah. That's like their base of operations.
They already destroyed it in Transformers.
And I need you a favor, and read the final lines of book 5.
Oh, I can read them. Can I?
No,
Oh crap! Is the book 5
they
final
stood-
lines the cringy ones?
They
Yes.
stood in an open
Oh
field.
no, dude,
Here,
this hurts.
shh. We gotta have him read it. We gotta start over.
Go ahead.
They stood in an open field. What do we do now? Asked Trenton. Everyone dead except for you. They stood silently for a while, moaning a lot. Trenton, Haley began. The reason I can make portals is because I'm from another dimension myself. The animated. It's okay, said Trenton as Haley revealed her real form as an anime character. Come with me and explore dimensions like I did so long ago. Sounds like a great idea, said Trenton with a tear of joy. Haley opened another portal and they went through.
Oh my god! Tell me you jumped and clapped in it freeze framed.
It freeze frames and does that little. It does the
and
end of. You see
and it
that
has a
guy?
text like "Where are they now?" segment.
Yeah, where are
Yes.
they now?
Kind of like the end of Maximum Overdrive, where it tells that the cars were killing people because of freaking Russians.
Well, I'm
Oh,
trying to find
freaking-
the beginning of book 6.
Book 6 is where it's the final confrontation of Mr. K returns and he's back with a vengeance.
So
Can you give us a small synopsis of what's all
Synopsis
happened?
of
a synopsis of what?
Big, like a brief thing. So, forgot.
Yeah, I'll do this. Book 1, Trenton's killed by LTAS. Book 2, no one cares. Book 3, Trenton is revived and knows to kill destroy an entire universe, but he can save Trenton and sends him to
and while he kills LTAS, he absorbs its power. That's what he kills.
Yes, and absorbs power. Book 4, yes. Book 5, East Union Daily, destroyed Chicago.
Yeah, destroy
Which is-
Nazis.
And then go off into the. That was supposed to be
Book-
the last book, actually.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the last book, but we decided to do book 6.
We decided to actually wrap it up.
Basically, I'm been with Haley and just traveling dimensions and stuff and learning about stuff. And so then Haley did.
It's like a time skip. By the way.
Haley figures out, oh no, Mr. K, he is coming to the universe 2 from universe 1, and he's
By the
gonna
way, fun fact,
take over.
from
And
that
make the
Trenton
world in
was
his image.
obsessed with Lovecraftian horrors at this point, and we really did not want one to come to the story.
So there's a weird
And
intro.
I had to say no, so he didn't make something stupid up.
There's a lot of weird like
Oh.
things referencing like the wizard was an entire like he was a just
Yeah.
something.
That the wizard is a pawn of Mr. K. Either way, I'll do a really quick summary of this one.
Yeah, do a quick. The last battle is what we need.
Because
to
we've
really
been
go
going for a really long time. I feel like.
Basically,
So
How
is
long-
this the total Thanos moment?
How long? We've almost.
It is.
We've
It's
almost
pretty
been
much
going.
like it's like the equivalent of Infinity War. Only in this, it's only a single part, and the good guys win.
Hold on, guys. Let's do a quick time check. We started at 9:45. It's 11:15. Yeah, so it's not an hour. Not an
Let's
hour. Yet. That's
let's
like
It's about an hour and a half.
already.
It's not. No, it's not. Just continue. We gotta go over
Just
book
continue.
6, man. We gotta go over book 6.
Book 6.
We can do it. It'll be extra long,
Okay.
extra thick.
So we've been dimensionally jumping and studying different types of power, studying our own magic, gaining wisdom, and I really don't know. I think the portals, they're sort of inefficient, so they
Damage you.
because they're portals, they give off radiation. But of course, the immortal anime Haley is not damaged. So my skin is damaged, and I basically have like scarred and burned and very tanned skin.
It's like punished Trenton.
It's like
Punished Trenton.
it's like my grandfather, who he works outside a lot, so his arms are darker than the average tan, but he's
Wow.
technically white.
Whistler. Okay,
Either way.
continue. A lot of it's
they figure
a lot of
out
6 is filler.
they figure out Mr. K is gonna come back and take over the universe, and so it's a lot of trying to figure out how can we stop him, how can we train our power. Basically, the way we try to set about it is training some pawns to get killed, like insta killed.
I gotta drop some truth bombs here real quick.
Okay.
This totally sounds like the plot to Infinity War, but this was written before Infinity War trailers have even dropped.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like they had to like prepare because it was an enemy that they could beat, and they had like all this preparation, and then without them knowing, he already got there and was already doing crap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's like the whole plot to Infinity War, and the only difference is that we win in the end because we were freaking really bad at writing crap. So
I want to win, but you
Nah.
guys did.
No, you should've
Infinity
just-
War isn't canon. They got to bring Spider-Man back, obviously.
Dude,
they'll bring him back.
So good, Mr. Stark.
They're making a Spider-Man sequel, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
If you expect them all to stay dead, you're stupid.
There's something. Anyway, continue.
Hey guys, have you ever heard of the Spider-Man Iron Man fan fiction?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
I feel
Back in-
so good, Mr. Stark. anyway.
Okay. Back in basically, there's some wizard that no one cares about.
Yeah,
They
we
train
try
him
we
after
try to
the
gain
crap.
this help. We
Oh,
try to gain
and-
the help of this wizard.
Easton
the-
Euron are revived.
Yeah,
Yes.
East and Neuron are revived, and it's a lot of help from this wizard, but he basically enslaves them. And basically, the wizard ends up killing us. And I think
No.
it kills Haley, injures me.
No. What
Haley's.
happened?
I'm
No,
sent
what
to.
happened is basically they killed him like we're strong enough to go face. They go and face him. They all. I don't know what happened to Eastern. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened to Eastern, but Haley gets her head chopped off, and Trenton gets sent to a blank white dimension where the only thing with him is Haley's head.
Yeah.
And he goes through the whole. He pretty much becomes Jesus. He relives the sins of every single person he killed.
What do you mean? What do you? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, no, actually, it is.
don't
I remember that. We talked about it.
Wasn't
the
that-
lives of every person who you caused to die?
Yeah, wasn't that Limbo? It was
Yeah,
like
we made
Limbo.
it kind of like it was a dimension that was just created to procedurally generate a white space.
Yeah.
And
And
do,
so
do you want to mention how Haley's
no.
He does some magic where he gets a little.
Yeah,
with-
I
skull?
I end up
certain
figuring out
bodily
how
organ.
to make portals.
God.
I end up figuring
Trying
that
to
out,
fix
and we get out, and I
the-
revive Haley. That was
Was she
basically
yeah,
there. That was
He does
basically in the
both.
story, because we were using Haley's portals too much as a crutch. So they were like, "Nah, we're gonna kill."
Oh,
Haley.
now she's like 3 feet tall as well.
I don't know,
'Cause
as a
this
symbolic weakness.
Yeah, she's after she revives, she's also like literally only like 3 feet tall, and that's like I don't know why we did that. I thought
She's
we thought
midget
it'd be
size.
funny. Yeah, the same. She's just really small.
So
I don't know why we did that.
so what happens is no, really, what happens after that, I forget.
It was something about
You go budget class, whatever.
yeah,
you
it's
meet
really stupid after
out.
that.
freshmen who
pretty-
dab crap.
pretty much a bunch of filler confrontation with pawns of gnolls and
Yeah.
that
That is when my butterfly knife comes in. I have a magical
Yeah.
butterfly knife, and just by doing flipping tricks, I can cast a butterfly knife spell.
Yeah.
And I can
But we
also
just- yeah.
I can also throw. This isn't mentioned, but I can throw it and it'll come back.
yeah, it's like a boomerang. But pretty much confrontations happen that are quite arbitrary and don't really matter to the end of the story at all.
Yeah.
But push comes to shove, magic tornado made out of rubble flying in the ground into a giant freaking castle, because that sounded cool when we read
Yeah.
it.
So Mr. K starts terraforming the Earth into his form, and we end up. I think we get up there, and it's at this very tall platform. We start fighting him,
On the way up,
Wait,
on the way up, we have to battle people, battle enemies from each book. So like we battle police officers, we
And
battle.
Haley dies in the same way.
man.
He jumped into a dump cell, got stabbed, then got hit by a train.
Oh yeah,
Haley dies.
Yeah, Haley
Because
dies.
we didn't want Emo.
Yeah,
I think-
she freaking pulled too many machinas. You know what I'm saying?
They kill her off. Look what
Yeah.
you've done.
And
Look
she's
why'd
permanently
you
dead. She
kill
never
her?
gets revived.
Yeah, she's never to be revived again.
Probably even
some
critical
peace.
revived her, but
F.
he still hated her.
Guys, press F to pay respects for Haley.
Plop an F in the chat.
Give
F
me
in
a
the
good.
chat for Haley.
Give us a good oof.
Is that good?
Oof. Oof. That was bad.
Okay.
Anyway,
Final battle. It's a epic anime battle. It's like freaking the whole shebang. Like hidden move that I've never used in the entire freaking story.
Oh wow.
So
Just pull out of my
This
ass.
threaten's actually Jesus now.
Iran
so.
and East. Okay, so Mr. K is fighting me with the power of the LTAS and the power of the Great Amoeba.
So essentially a god.
Yeah, and so I'm fighting him with my butterfly knife, which
It's really big.
it
too.
eventually, I use magic to extend the blade, so it basically turns into a long sword, but like a butterfly knife. And so what happens is we keep fighting, like, and we're almost equally matched, and we keep fighting for a really long time. I think eventually our blades clash a certain way that it actually chips his legendary machete, and a chip of it comes out. Now, in this story, East being the master hunter, he has bows.
I don't think we never brought up that East's
I forgot
main
to bring that
ability
up.
is master hunter, and he can just shoot. He can dual wield recurve bows, which is impossible.
And
which
so
is a master hunter.
And so he's fighting. He's firing, arrows that keep getting blocked by the sword of the machete. He blocks that. He blocks my attack. Iran's trying to cast magical attacks with the LTAS book, but it's just not. It's not working. None of this is working. So what happens is I chip the blade, and so while
East picks it up and puts it on an arrow.
Yeah, and so he fires this arrow perfectly at Mr. K, which stuns Mr. K because the arrow actually embeds in him because it still has the power of the magical machete. And so what happens is, in the end, East, he gains the chance to fire so many arrows that it's just like captured Mr. K. But what Iran has to do to finally destroy Mr. K's magic is destroy the LTAS book.
Destroy.
It stuns
thing.
Mr. K so much that he dies.
No.
No, I finished him off because you guys would have just
you
left
finished
him there, and then
What
we would have been
happened
like,
is,
"Huh, guys, he didn't actually
in
die."
desperate, he tried to summon Skolty and was like, "Oh, he's weak," so East killed him.
Oh yeah, Swalty didn't do anything because Swalty's super weak, and then I finished him off because no one else was going to do it.
Yeah, so he rips the LTAS book in half, and that is basically our explanation. That's our cop out of why the books are so bad and have such bad grammar. Is that Iran tried to repair the books and try to rewrite them, but
But he could never do it the same.
they were never entirely
faithful.
accurate.
And do it for me, so I made him look like a bad guy.
Yeah, it's
And
like
so-
it's like all this.
East starts
It's
his
like
own
meta.
East starts his own town, and
Called
Um,
Lol. I think
it's
I think in book 6 we call it Lolville.
Lawville, Law
Iran,
City.
the current book. Now it's called Lol City later.
It's
but I
Law
think-
City, and
Law City.
I'm
But-
basically like, I forget how. I think
You
it
became
was
like a president.
I
became like a
basically
leader.
am immortal, and so I've only had one cameo. It doesn't explicitly mention it's me.
You've essentially taken the place of Haley in that universe as the cop out character.
But you see, I have
But-
a lot of power, but I haven't been mentioned a
They
lot. The
Yeah,
only
yeah.
time I've been mentioned
You're like a
is
shadow leader.
a guy flipping a butterfly knife.
Yeah.
Also, East and Iran get married.
Yeah, I don't like that, but he seems to think it's the best thing, like the funniest thing ever. So
So what happens? So what's happening now is we're writing a story. This was all Wackofan's idea to write a story about gangs in the future. Secretly,
it's a cyberpunk setting as well.
secretly it's Lol City.
Not
But they don't-
secretly.
Yeah, they know it's called first thing, but those people, well, the people who have shunned the original creator
In,
and
like,
his
a-
family and his like whole lineage. So it's almost like the people who live in the inner cities at this point, like don't even know about like don't even know the outside world is a thing, kind of like North Korea, like that whole meme.
The inner city is
Show.
No, it's not like Truman Show, dude. Truman Show, he's in. Doesn't know he's on a show.
so the inner city is like a ghetto, and the outer city is where all the rich people live.
Yeah, and it's
And it's sort of hard to get to the outer city. Like they have
there's like a wall. Yeah.
huge gated
Except for,
communities.
Zach
Don't want to
and-
spoil it.
But this one, are you planning on actually putting this
It will
one out as a
connect.
book?
Oh yes, of course.
Because
Me-
it's,
I don't
it's
know if you
pretty
saw
good.
it in the Discord. Me and Aaron had a lengthy conversation about how we could do a trilogy if we wanted, and
But
almost
that's
pull.
easy. It'll literally rewrite LTAS, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking
Yeah, it's
I'm-
deepest lore.
I'm on the fence as to whether put out this double trilogy that I've just explained. We've just explained. I'm really not sure if we should put out the double trilogy
You
for,
need
for the
to.
general public, because I know for sure we're selling the newest book we're working on. We got to sell it.
Sell it.
Uh,
Okay, kiddo.
New York's bestseller.
Seller. Anyway, yeah.
That was very interesting.
So Zach,
Would
do you have
you-
any like questions? Like
Yeah.
any like questions about the lore, about the like like any specific? We've
Okay,
gone
so-
so deep that we can like tell you probably blood types at this point. Maybe.
Haley died.
Mm-hmm.
They
I mourn her loss for years,
Yeah,
centuries.
Trenton becomes depressed.
And then, okay, you beat Machete.
Name drop.
I think the machete.
Mr. K.
I think the machete is like gone.
I think we said it got shattered.
Or yeah, it either got shattered, or
we
it's
forgot about
still, or it's still somewhere. I think it's still somewhere.
I actually think that we just forgot about it because we made him drop it at one point during the
Yeah.
battle, and I think that we forgot about it. So it's probably still on that giant dirt tower, which doesn't exist anymore.
So,
'cause
well, the
it
main.
fell.
After Nodes became 12 feet, the machete became super weak and it broke.
Oh, okay, it broke.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
right now the main antagonist is looking for basically LTAS relics.
No, but that's what you need
Okay.
to say. Stone.
But-
it's not set in stone yet.
It's not set in
let's
stone.
not
I think what it should be is
I think delving into
He really-
this theoretical.
I think what it
Like-
should be is he thinks that there are relics, and that's why he's doing all this. But there really is nothing. There's really no more relics. That was it.
Okay. How about? I have a feeling that we should save this. We should save this for another
Yeah, save
time
this.
because this is like a whole another rabbit hole because the
Yeah,
lore
we'll
goes
go in
really
depth.
deep for this one.
We'll go in
this
depth.
theoretical book 7. It goes quite deep. So
Am I hosting episode 2?
If you want to, it could be on. I mean, we don't know what it's going to be on yet, but I think we should do episode 2 on a topic, and then do.
we'll decide that while we're recording.
Yeah, let's decide this while we're recording. Hey guys,
No.
hey
Hey,
guys,
guys.
viewers
Vote in
and
the
listeners out there,
comments.
Ring that bell.
listeners
Hit
out
that-
there,
Hit that motherfucking like button.
smash that
So-
like button. Hey
Let's- okay.
guys.
At this point, the joke is overdone, so let's not do that anymore.
Guys,
Final
what do you
thought.
think? Put out in the comments below. Okay,
We're not
but anyway,
actually gonna use suggestions. We have plans.
We're
not.
You get a sneak peek of us deciding. No, just kidding. We're not going to
Okay.
decide on air.
My
So are we
final-
gonna? Oh, you have a final question? Final question?
Oh yeah, my final thoughts is I mean it is an epic of big proportions, but
An epic of big
Cliches.
proportion. I guess that is
They're-
grammatically correct. An epic is a type of story. Continue.
It's kind of it. It's the everyman story. There is a lot of like you can relate to the characters.
Yeah.
Can you?
With Link
Uh,
can.
I can relate. I relate heavily with East.
I
Yes.
can relate to myself, yes, because I'm a real magic user in real life.
Yeah, and I can dual wield recurve bows.
I can really relate to Mr. K's desires.
His struggles, his internal struggle. He's truly a well-written character.
First book. No, but yeah. I think it was a good start to the first episode of our podcast.
Yeah, it's a first step. Are we gonna have sign outs? Are we gonna have like a
Sign outs.
like
Well,
a thing we say?
I wanna leave another comment since you are the filmmaker, you are the director, Zach. I feel like this new book that we're writing right now has the potential to actually be at least some kind of graphic novel or graphic narrated story.
Honestly,
And
I
so-
could see it, but it'd
but-
have to be made by us.
but the original-
no one's outsourcing that.
The original double trilogy is just too frantic. It goes all over
It's-
the place. So anyway,
I can see that, but
yeah.
Slancatto over here sitting in silence. We insult the original, like whatever term for 6 books.
if we do transfer it from transfer this new storyline to like more of like a script or something, we could do something with it.
Zach could do something with it.
It has to be cleaned up a whole bunch because some parts are just so messy.
Some parts will have to be left out, but
I
guess
really
we
don't
can-
know.
Yeah.
I really would not put in the. I don't know how much we would put in the effort to actually clean it up, and
I
Dude.
don't.
I feel like it could. There's some value to it, but you sort of lose. You sort of lose the original charm.
I'm just saying. I would give my pinky to see any of the books put into, except for book 4, put into a graphic novel format or like a web comic format.
no.
That'd be just.
No, we-
You don't want to recreate a live action book foe?
We need to get no. This is gonna.
I'll pass on live action book 4. Thank you very much.
Can we loup book foe tomorrow?
Hey, we'll
I'll
give you.
pass.
We'll give you book 4.
It's
We'll
original
give you all the
series.
books. We'll give you all the books to read, Zach.
Yeah, we'll pop them in
Okay.
the chat for you. Okay.
But we're gonna have to make it off to Netflix to make it original series.
I would. Well, I would make this newest one. I would make it a series, but I wouldn't. I would definitely not make the original double trilogy, unless we really worked hard on it and polished it.
We would have to polish it. Okay.
But anyway, we're going like hitting
2 hours, kind of.
no
No,
45,
not. It's
45
not been-
minutes. It's been about
Uh,
45 minutes, I think,
it's-
almost.
It's probably been more. Who knows? Who cares? Let's do an outro.
Let's do an outro. What's we never really thought we'd get here. What type of outro should we do?
Ooh, let's like do this. You know how we like started with our names, right? Let's do something like we like have like a sentence like it's I don't know.
Let's-
but it's gone. I lost it.
Let's all go around
Introduce
stating-
ourselves one more time. and then-
Introduce ourselves one more time and state our current physical health.
I'm currently of best health. I eat pizza every day. I'm dying inside. Yeah.
I currently have 2 blisters in the side of both my feet. They feel really great.
Because you stand 6 hours a day.
Yes.
I'm
Big oof.
Mawoduffer. I have a sunburn that's itchy and peeling, and I'm very, very tired right now. It's way past my
Oh, wow.
bedtime.
Oh yeah.
You go to bed.
And as for you,
7:30.
Oh, I'm doing all right.
I like
Zach.
how like only one person actually injured themselves.
By the way, I really need to mention that my profile picture that's on the screen right now is not my real profile picture.
what are you talking about? You're Slancatto, aka the Rhino Rider.
I feel as that image is only used in one place that no one will ever find.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Nationstates.com.
Yeah, good old stuff. Anyway, signing off.
We need okay.
Signing off.
Okay,
Well,
okay,
let's
yeah,
let's
signing
all
off.
say our names. Just sign off so that they can
It's your
associate
boy.
our voices. So I'm
It's your
Mawoduffer.
boy. I'm Wackofan.
Slancatto.
Zach, associate with a gag.
And Mawoduffer here. So either way, let's sign off. It's been real. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always,
Adios.
why am I doing
Come
my
Back
intro?
for episode 2. I don't know if we're gonna do this every week.
Let's do this. Let's do this every
do,
month.
Let's do this bi-daily.
Bye, Daily.
Wait a minute.
I don't feel like there's gonna be a schedule. It'll be whenever we can get together. So
My cat's meowing into the microphone. So let's sign off.
okay,
right
let's
now.
not linger. Let's sign off. Adios, amigos.
Adios.
Auf Wiedersehen.